Welcome into the high school fan zone for the final segment on a Monday night. It's the Plainsman fan zone. We've got three of Monterey's girls soccer players and Coach Jarod Loffler. They had to pose for a picture here. Chuck Hines kissing babies and running for office there. Jarod, we've talked, we've texted, we've chatted. I don't know that we've ever actually met in person, so it's good to meet you in person, first of all.
Yes, sir. Very nice to meet you as well.
There's a reason you're here, because your team won a playoff game. I forgot to ask you. I know you second year in a row in the playoffs?
This is 3 out of 4 years.
3 out of 4 years.
Yes, sir.
Have you got? Is this the first time you've advanced?
No, we've advanced before.
Okay, so this is old hat for you guys. You're all tested. This doesn't bother you. You beat Abilene Wiley. I say it doesn't bother you, Coach. I don't know if you had gray hair before the other night, but
when I started at Monterey, I had just one gray patch. Now I got a full beard of it, but wouldn't change anything.
No, you're talking to the father of a teenage girl, and
yes, sir.
I've gotten to know Mae's dad a little bit, and we've talked about how I don't know if Callie's sons have given him. He claims that you're the easiest one, Mae. He said that you're the.
Yes.
And I think one of your big brothers said you might be the most athletic out of the three.
Oh, definitely, yes.
Well, there you go. You've got that to talk about.
Yes.
So Abilene Wiley 1-0. I'm going to make sure I get it right. Cooper Jolly scored with about 8 minutes left.
Yes, sir. Right about 8 minutes.
And you held on from there.
Oh, yeah. We could have put them away a little earlier. Credit to them. They were a very good team. But, Cooper came in clutch with a good assist from our senior Anaya Perez as well.
Oh, I'm glad you said something, because I need to have these girls introduced. I've talked to Mae Arrington. She's if you're watching on TV, she's in the red shirt. I'm going to have you two introduce yourselves.
My name's Liliana Rodriguez.
My name's Jada Martinez.
Okay, so now we know who's who. That's for the radio folks. If you're listening, you'll recognize them by voice. Mae Arrington, again, in the red. If you're watching on TV, I'll get her to talk on the microphone a little bit closer here in a minute. You advance to the area round. You get to go over into the land of enchantment. Boys and girls doubleheader in Artesia. I know the boys are playing El Paso Americas. The girls take on who?
We play El Paso Andress at 5 o'clock tomorrow.
3 o'clock and 5 o'clock. And I had to make sure that you corrected me on this or got me headed in the right direction. This is not at the football stadium.
No, sir. It's at the Bulldog Soccer Stadium.
And they've somebody told me they've got a nice soccer complex in Artesia.
They really do.
It's as big as football is there. They've caught on that soccer's kind of a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a pretty big deal at Monterey, so here's where I get to get Mae to talk. Mae, you guys got the win the other night, and it was pretty tight, but that was kind of par for the course for you guys for what you've done this season. This has been a pretty impressive breakthrough season. You beat Lubbock Cooper once or twice?
Once.
And then Coronado. I know that's the big one.
Yes, sir.
You guys swept them?
No, we only beat them. We beat them the second time around.
Well, that was the important time.
Yes, sir.
They may not like hearing. I said something that made Monterey people probably make them angry a minute ago, so I've got to make up a little bit here. Mae, what about this team has made you guys click this year?
I think definitely our team bonding. We've all gotten a lot closer this year. Our friendship's just grown much more than what it was last year. We just connect way better than we did last year, and I think that's helped us. We had trouble scoring last year, and this year we put them in the back of the net way more and solved lots of problems for us.
And that's where coaches stopped getting the gray hair then, right?
Yeah.
It's helped.
Whoever wants to talk next, grab the microphone there. That's the one we'll get you going. Piggyback on that, Mae talked about the kind of the chemistry and the camaraderie. You guys were a good team last year, a really good team last year. Is there something different? Is there something extra with this group?
I feel like our attitude's better. Like, there's less like bickering at each other. We more like help each other than like argue about it.
So no arguments, never any arguments?
I mean, here and there, but it's like easily resolved. And
there we go.
There's like more about like not bigger problems that happen in the game. And we have learned to like not take it out on the game with each other, to like let it go, like when there's games in practice.
And it never hurts to have that experience of being having success and getting to the playoffs for the third year in a row. How good can this team be? I'll let you take your turn. How good can this team be? You're in the area round. You've got a chance to keep going. How long are you confident that this season could go?
I have full confidence that we could make it to state and even come home with the state title. I think with this last year, us not making playoffs was a big motivator for all of us coming in this year, that our first goal was to win a district title or to make playoffs, and obviously we did this year. With our chemistry this year, it was so much stronger this year than it was last year. So knowing with what we have and the talent that we have brought up into our team, I'm fully confident that we can make even state and come home with the title as well.
And you fixed me there. It's 3 out of 4 years, not 3 in a row.
Yes, sir.
Because now I remember, Jarod, at the end of last year, you guys were borderline, and right at the end,
Missed it by a point or two. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
which soccer, the point thing is, I'm so used to the win-loss tie that when you were explaining, that spurred my memory. You explained it to me at the end of last year, and it was like the guy on A Beautiful Mind. There was all these numbers up, and I was like, he knows what he's talking about. I guess they'd tell you if you're going to be in the playoffs. So,
yes, sir.
Jarod, I'll let you follow up on what these three said. What has been different or enlightening with this group for you this year?
Well, we started off the year, and I think we wanted to play more attractive soccer, more attacking style, and the girls bought into that. They wanted to score more goals and improve on our weaker area from last year. And of course, they all are great together, great team, great attitude. And I do see the chemistry among them. So I think that's been the biggest difference this year.
All right. I know I checked on you throughout the season. 10-3-3 in district is what you finished?
Yes, sir.
Which is impressive to me because your district in girls soccer was very much like girls basketball, where every match, every night, every week was a grind. We're coming up on a break. I'm going to get the girls to talk about that a little bit. Kind of like your girls in Amarillo and Tascosa were all good in basketball, but having Amarillo High, playing them a couple times, give me the quick answer of how much that helped your girls when you get to this point of the season.
Oh, it helps tremendously. Playing a team of that quality, you really get to see your weaknesses and start trying to, bolster those to get ready for the playoffs.
And the Lady Plainsmen are in the playoffs. They won 1-0. Jarod probably has finally calmed down from that a little bit. Got his breath back. We'll come back and talk more Monterey girls soccer after the break on the Plainsman Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score.
Bringing you the latest news from Monterey Athletics. This is the Plainsman Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back to the Plainsman Fan Zone on a Monday night. I'm Randy Rosetta. This is 100.7 The Score. We're talking Monterey girls soccer. They are headed to the area round against, remind me again, El Paso.
Andress.
Because Coach got it in my head. I've started thinking about Del Valle because that's who Lubbock Cooper plays. There's 4 girls teams alive in the soccer playoffs in Lubbock. Mm-hmm. Lubbock's becoming a soccer town. Jarod, I don't know. I know you've been there. This is your 5th year?
As the girls' head coach, yes, sir.
These girls have, and I know from knowing some of their families, that soccer has kind of taken hold on the club level as well. How good is girls' soccer in Lubbock right now?
Well, girls' soccer in Lubbock and I'd say Amarillo, it's like a hotbed. There's a lot of good players in Abilene as well. So entire West Texas area has some really talented players here.
You've got 3 of them sitting in the middle here. So
absolutely.
May, I'll let you follow up, coaches. You live you've got a household where there's basketball and football guys and golf, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
And are you a golfer as well?
No.
Dad hasn't convinced you of that?
No, sir.
Why is soccer becoming such a big deal in Lubbock? I know you're young, and that's a big, wide-open question, but you're one of you 3 are among the 3 best players in Lubbock. Why is soccer taking off in Lubbock?
I think competition is starting to grow, and I think it's making people from other places around us come to Lubbock to play soccer because it's obviously growing. And I think we have started to make teams, not only just club, but also people come for high school soccer. So I just think competition's better, and people want to come for the competition to make themselves better, so that in the long run, whether it's you're going to play for club or you want to get shown through high school, I just think it's high school or Lubbock's the place to be for soccer, making it grow.
Okay, so I couldn't get Coach to talk about himself that much, so I'm going to get you two to talk about what he's done to get you guys to this level, because, like I said, the last several years, you guys have been really good at cream of the crop in a very good area for soccer. What has he brought that kind of motivates you guys and gets you going? He's your arm lengths away. He can't.
It's okay. You can say what you want. I will say that these girls come good already. I just try to do my best to help them out little ways.
That's why I wanted
puts
you to
a lot of
talk.
dedication of his time into the team, like helping us, watching film to help us, and then he brings us together. Like when there's a problem, he helps us come together and like resolve things. He just dedicates a lot of his time out of his like personal life to make this team better.
That's you just described about every high school coach I've ever met. That last one, because high school coaches, there's a lot of I don't want to say this, Jarod. When you start talking about how much you make per hour as a coach, it decreases the salary a little bit, because you guys, respect to you guys, because you put a lot of time in there that I'm not sure people understand or appreciate. So
Yes, sir.
you get to finish.
I feel like he grew up playing soccer, I'm sure, and it's sort of a passion, and he wants us to realize how much of a blessing it is to be able to play here and to even be in the area around, or to even be lucky enough to even make a varsity team. So he makes sure to remind us that you are amongst some of the best players in Lubbock or in our school, and being able to be on this field for 90 minutes is a huge accomplishment. He pushes us even when we are the most stubborn people in the world. He still deals with us, and he makes sure to congratulate us on anything we've ever done, and he makes sure to humble us when we are getting a little cocky. But the way he pushes us, it just helps us stay more level-minded when we go into each game, knowing that it's a full 90 minutes, and if you want it bad enough, you need to go get it.
So I told you I'm a girl dad.
Yes, sir.
I'll say the same thing to you about being stubborn that I do my daughter. It doesn't mean anything to you. You're not going to be stubborn.
Yes.
So clearly it means something to you. All right, Jarod, you heard what all these girls had to say. That's got to be pretty humbling to know you've made an impact.
It's, they're a great group of girls. I'm very proud of them.
And
Can't
she
really say
mentioned
much
this.
else here.
Where did you play soccer growing up?
Yes, sir.
Where at?
I played all over, club teams. Played, high school soccer wasn't as big back then as it is now. And of course, like you were saying, it's a growing sport. It's now surpassing, I think even volleyball in numbers wise.
Jarod
Across
said
the
that.
country.
Volleyball fans. I did not say that.
Hey, it's a growing sport still. So it is the greatest sport in the world.
And Kelly Lozada, I did not say that.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody. I've already made Monterey fans happy and mad at the same time tonight. So you said it.
But I grew up playing that in the Permian Basin area.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So which is probably the next area that's going to start catching up, because we're in West Texas. Everything sort of follows something. If they imitation's the spice of life. So
Yes, sir.
We've got one more segment on the Plains and Fan Zone. We'll be back after this break on 100.7 The Score.
Bringing you the latest news from Monterey Athletics. This is the Plainsman Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back to the final segment of the Plains and Fan Zone, the final segment of the high school Fan Zone on a Monday night. I mentioned all those soccer teams still playing. I'm going to run through the schedule real quick. Monterey girls play El Paso Andress 5 p.m. Tuesday at Bulldog Stadium in Artesia. In Class 6A, Friendship plays South Lake Carroll at 6 p.m. Tuesday at Shotwell Stadium in Abilene. Lubbock Cooper plays El Paso Del Valle 7 p.m. Tuesday at Ratliff Stadium in Odessa. And the Liberty girls are in the 4A Division II area round 4 p.m. Tuesday at Shotwell Stadium in Abilene. And there is still a boys team left. You guys know who that is, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Monterey boys carry the flag for boys soccer into the area round. They play El Paso Americas right before these girls at Bulldog Stadium in Artesia. I was mentioning to Jarod and the girls in between breaks, your boys have something going. You guys, I talked to them about this today, and you guys can kind of use this to your advantage too. The girls basketball program raised that bar high for everybody in Lubbock, but especially in your neck of the woods, because now I think Jack Perkypile actually mentioned this, one of the boys, after the state championship game in basketball. He said, now it's your guys' turn next.
Yes, sir.
So no pressure, girls.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of pressure you like. I can't remember which one of you said you want to you want to reach that. You want to strive for that. Leah Chavez made things difficult, but in a good way. What can you guys, May, I heard you asking Coach about, you don't want to think too far ahead. You got to take care of business tomorrow night, but then you jump into Metroplex teams and a different level of competition. What makes you confident that you guys could start chopping wood and making those strides?
I just think we're just a totally different team than what we were last year. I just think we had trouble scoring and finishing last year, and I just think for us it's just not a problem. Like I said, like our team bonding and our connection, like just like off the field, is so much better than what it was last year. And I just think that like we love the sport together, and that helps us get through playing teams. And we not used to fight, but like we're better at like building each other up when we make mistakes instead of just kind of egging it on. So I think that also really helps. And our talent has also just grown way more than what it was last year.
I'm sure the coach is excited about that last part especially.
Oh, yeah.
The one thing about LISD teams in any sport, I'm going to let you two jump on this, is that there's a certain level of grit, too. Not that there's not all over West Texas, but I enjoy watching you guys play in different sports because you get to play against those Metroplex teams. I think it's just nature to look out here at West Texas and kind of, there's just another team. We will beat them and move on. Knowing that, and I'm not trying to speak for him. Jody's uncle could probably speak to that too. He gets to deal with a lot of things at a different level. Or May's uncle Jody. Knowing that it's just little old West Texas going to get to these Metroplex teams, does that kind of burn your belly a little bit when you get to this level?
Yes and no, because I have like confidence in like our area and then our talent we have, because our talent's growing. So I feel like, yes, the talent's like their talent's gonna always be like a little bit better, but it's growing and we're growing, and like I don't know how to say, like.
I know what you're saying. These girls go and compete in the Metroplex already, so they already experience soccer at a very high level, and they can just go do it for their high school now. So
I know
they have a little chip on their shoulder.
That's where I was going to go. You can be as talented but having that chip on your shoulder sure doesn't hurt, does it?
No, sir. I feel like they definitely underestimate any West Texas teams. I remember my club coaches saying that we were always been underestimated, but now club teams and even high schools, like clubs have expanded to all over Texas and the nation, so they can underestimate us, but we're getting the same amount of training and the same amount of like dedication from a coach as anyone else from the Metroplex. And that's why our talent is growing, is just because we're not in a big city, that doesn't mean we're not getting the same dedication from a coach that they are. We're just as talented, and we have coaches who are just as talented, same as a high school. And I feel like they're just underestimating us just because we're from a small town and we aren't known for soccer.
I think you guys ought to invite them to come out here and play in the wind and some of our dust storms.
Yes, sir.
That'll let them know how tough-minded you guys are. These girls won a playoff game last week. They head to the area around Tuesday night. I'm looking forward to see what they do, because then, like I mentioned, after that they jump into the Metroplex and things start to get a little bit more challenging. I think it's fair to say that that's when you guys will start to see where all this hard work starts to pay off. So thank you guys for coming in. I appreciate it. I'm glad that I finally got to meet Coach Loffler in person and to get to see you guys. Hopefully, if you can keep this up, I'll get to see you in person. I can't get out to Artesia. It's right.
Yeah.
That was 3.5 hour.
Yeah, right about 3. Yeah.
So you guys make sure that trip is worthwhile. That's going to wrap us up on the High School Fan Zone. We'll be back Wednesday night. This is Randy Rosetta, and this is 100.7 The Score.